Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Fortnine's Favorite. Today I have on Viewer Wednesday a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Rockstar map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest and ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1's, let's go Northern player. We have in Ruby Red, it is Dimitri11 playing as a Cybran. He is a 2000 rated. To his south in Batman Gray, it is Dr. Soviet. He's playing as a Cybran, as a 2200, the highest rated player on Team 1, and tied for the highest rated player overall. To his south in Imperial Gray, it is Trottail playing as a Cybran as well. He is a 1400. And rounding out the front line for Team 1, breaking the mold so far, it is the UEF of Kareem with 2 M's. He is a 1500 as in Royal Blue. With Team 1's backline player being iBlock Mass, he's in Rust. Another Cybran for Team 1 as a 1600. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 4 Cybrans and 1 UEF in the south, which means no Aeon and no Seraphim Tech for Team 1. Starting off for Team 2, Southern player in Stitch Blue, it is Chap. He's playing as a Cybran. He is an 1800. Next door to him, to his north in Snow White. Breaking the mold so far for the game, it is BRS DCCC 97 playing as the one and only Seraphim of the game. He is a 2200, the highest rated player on Team 2, and tied with Dr. Soviet for highest rated player overall. To his north in Orange Color Orange, it is the one and only Aeon of the game, being a Holme, playing as a 1400, again in orange, the color orange. And next door to him in Chevy Crimson, it is Eco Player 7 playing as a UEF as a 1500. With Team 2's backline player being the UEF of Strider, he's in Tropical Ocean Blue as a 1700. So for Team 2 side of the map, they actually have one of each of the factions with 2 UEF. So again, 1 Aeon, the only Aeon of the game, the only Seraphim of the game, a Cybran, and 2 UEF. So Team 1 heavy focus on Cybran Tech. Team 2 focused a little bit more on a little bit of everything. So we'll see if the more kind of spreading out of the faction distribution works for Team 2, or if heavily focusing on one, or for the most part one, works out in Team 1's favor. And for these 10 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 20,000 mass in reclaim, which makes it 2K mass per player. A definite worthy note of writing home to the family saying, hey, I got a decent amount of mass today. And taking a look at the major clumpage of the reclaim, there hasn't really been in recent games just a huge 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 Rex, where I see 600, I see another 600, another 600, a 400, a 500. So there are decent clumpages to go after, but there's not like, oh my goodness, we need to go for the middle of the map or whatever, because there's just so much reclaim there kind of thing. So players are going to be scurrying across the map, spreading out, and getting as much of that reclaim as possible, as fast as possible. And taking a look, of course, at the major mechs locations on the map, there are a decent amount of them, with, of course, a lot of one-offs just kind of shotgunned everywhere. We'll look at Team 2 side of the map, and we'll kind of cut it right about that, make it a little bit easier to divvy up. There are 2 Trimex positions on the outer edges of the map, as well as a couple of Trimexes in the middle. There is a we can lump that mechs in there, 6-star mechs position there, and then another quad mechs northeast of that with a, there any more? Nope. No, not really. But there are a lot of one-offs to grab, at least down the middle of the map. There is some mexes that will be definitely fought over. Some of them, of course, are actually protected by a tiny little hill or two. So in the early game, those won't be shot at. But once T2 artillery units or missile launchers, stationary units, that sort of thing, start shooting over, those probably won't exist for very long. But we'll see what players decide to go after in terms of protection of major clumpage. I would assume, this is going to be shielded. This will probably be shielded. This will be shielded, and then again, something about maybe that will be at least shielded at a minimum. Taking a look at where the players themselves are headed off into in this game, we have a 1v1 in the northeast and 1v1 in the southwest, which leaves everybody down the middle. I see 3 players from Team 2 and 2 players from Team 1, with the last player unaccounted for being iBlock Mass in his base, working on his air facility, which, of course, definitely makes sense because he's going to be the air player for Team 1, and then, of course, Strider for Team 2. Gun, first of its kind, being built on Kareem's comp. It is... I mean, that's definitely a name for it for sure. Moroccan AK-74 from Wish. So it's just going to be very crappy. Is that the point? Because it's from Wish. It's definitely an interesting name nonetheless for an upgrade like that. I wonder what other his upgrades are named. And progress in the middle. Team 2 and Team 1 coming pretty close to one another. We have both of the gray players for Team 1, a blue player for each team, and a red player for each team. I do appreciate the fact that there's some color coordination in the game. When it's pink, lightish red pink versus Barbie pink, it confuses the crap out of me. So I do appreciate that there's some sort of, more lighter colors or more darker colors, but they're not, they're not exactly lined up. But it's fine. It's not a terrible thing, but it helps with the being able to track, okay, this is from Team 1, this is from Team 2. I don't have to worry about whose is who, that kind of thing. Gun started for Dr. Soviet, and gun started for Holme in the middle. Gun also started for Dimitri 11 in the north. So gun for Team 1 and 1 gun for Team 2. So far a 3-to-1 advantage there. But the game has a lot of legs, so not really worried about if one team gets a little bit more guns. And speaking of which, there's a gun started for Eco Player as well. I will note, though, there's really nothing by him in the north. We do see some Mantis that could assist Dimitri 11. He does have a nice little engineer that has taken some damage from whatever the heck shot at him. But even with the a little bit increased speed in construction for that upgrade, by the time the upgrade finishes, Dimitri 11 walks over. Eco Player will either have the upgrade done or be very close, but he'll just take the damage and be done with it. Gun started for Team 2's Chap and for BRS. So now we have 4 guns for Team 2, 3 guns for Team 1. Of course, a little bit lopsided in favor for Team 2, partially just because iBlock Mass isn't on the front line. But if he was, maybe he'd go for gun. Maybe we'll see a gun for Trotil. So it may be 4 guns to 4 guns. And Strider probably won't see any upgrades on board his comm, at least in terms of offensive. For now, he has T2 Air Tech online. He's probably going to be focusing on getting the T3 as fast as possible. Gun now done for Dr. Soviet. Gun done for Dimitri 11, and he is pushing in. Gun almost done for Eco. Stealth started for Dr. Soviet. Speed almost done for Holme. He's probably going to go for range right after that. Or not. And Gun's about half done for both of the players for Team 2 remaining. Gun is now done. First combat action will occur between Team 1's Dimitri 11 and Team 2's Eco Player. It is a Cybran versus a UEF, so hit point advantage just does go to Team 2. There are a lot of units here, so they can swarm that comm if Eco Player is not careful, but he does have some more forces back here to back him up, so it's more of an even playing field now in that more northeastern side. No units across the little pond here yet from Team 1, partially just because, Dimitri 11 is a Cybran, so he doesn't have hover tech available to him. He does have Wagners, and he does have bricks. He can get transports online to get over there, but I think he's more focused on the comm engagements. Advanced range now started for Holme, which means that he has range on board now. T2 started for Kareem. I did not catch the name of his upgrade. Let's see if I can scroll. T2 Ferv. Well, with a name like that, there's only one thing he's gonna do. Yep. Only one thing you're gonna do with a name like that. And for those of you who know, they know. And for those of you who don't, you find out soon enough. Unless for some reason Kareem dies before that happens. Not cast cursing him at all. Just I'm not doing it. I'm just making a point. Anyway, still started for Chap. And advanced range at about 40%. Now T2 started for Eco Player in the east. Will get him even more hit points. So again, Dimitri 11's down 2k. Now he's going to be down 4k. And that could be enough to make the difference between surviving a murder-suicide situation and not. Gun started for Trotil, so we have 4 guns for Team 1. And Strider does not have any upgrades on board. Again, that was kind of going to be the trend with that. What is this? Team 1's iBlock Mass has dropped units on the southern edge of the map, and look at them just scurrying around the map. We have a couple of dead mexes here and here. We do have T2 gunships inbound. This will strain a little bit of his eco because he's focusing on land units instead of air units, but he's doing a great job of delaying Team 2 Strider at a bare minimum. He has to build gunships, and he has to deal with all this. He's going to get a little bit of reclaim out of it, to be fair. But all the time and energy, he's losing mexes as well. That's another T2 mex dead. Maybe he'll get that last one there. But he's lost some mexes. And that's going to hurt his eco, not long term, but definitely in the short term. Advanced range almost done for Holme. And Dr. Soviet does have the stealth upgrade online, but Holme does have the advanced, which the overcharge, I don't know if he was going for Dr. Soviet or not, but misses. Goes for a unit next door to him. And he will fall back. Maybe we'll see some assistance from BRS, and this will be just a mosh pit in the middle. Nano repair started for Chap. He's going for just full damage. Tac missile is done for Kareem. What was the upgrade called? It was Verve cosplay done. That's so funny. Tac missile is inbound, but there is a TMD. There's a T2 naval. Big boat, small pond? I think it's going to be big boat, small pond. He does have some TMD on board, so that missile will be dealt with quite nicely. The land invasion didn't really occur too much longer. Looks like he maybe control Kate them just because of how all of them are kind of dead at this point. But again, a little bit distraction. It does allow him to get T3 air probably done a little bit faster, maybe, possibly, maybe. Actually, no, Team 2 is barely ahead. But again, even playing field. The main focus is the eco. Strider's at 100, and iBlock Mice is actually below that at 70. So Team 2 will be able to catch up. So Strider, speaking of which, more stuff. iBlock masses. I need more stuff. Yep. I always need more things. More shields, more guns, more nukes, more game enders, just more of the everything. Nano started for Dr. Soviet in the middle. Eco player building some TMD. Again, that's the annoying thing with Cybrin TMD. Not T7 TMD. Cybrin attack missiles is they split and they still do damage. And, of course, the UEF TMD is the worst in the game, to be fair. That doesn't help, but I don't think Eco player is going to have a fun time trying to deal with all of this Viper spam nonsense. We do see Team 2's Chap pushing pretty close to Kareem's front line. Another missile outbound. Is he going for the comm? No, but he's going to go right over his head, goes after a Rhino. Nice grab there. A little bit more veterancy to him. He's at almost 2 stars now. And still northeastern side. Not really a crazy amount of defense. We see some parashields now, and he's taking a decent amount of damage. Drops into about the mid-yellows. Still no combi-com action or just much action in general for the middle of the map between these two teams. We do see in the southwest Chap going after the player that has blue tinted UEF colorization for Team 1 being Kareem. Again, it's Cybrin versus UEF, so Chap's at 13,000 hit points versus Kareem's 15,000, and he's about to get a veterancy. Is he going to get a hit with his missile? No, but it was pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. Just a tiny smidgen to the right and would have knocked off a chunk of hit points. Wouldn't have killed him. Would have done a lot of damage nonetheless. TMD is now pretty much wiped out. PD has been wiped out. Ecoplayer just cannot get a front line going with all of that Viper spam. Couple of Riptides come and say hi. They'll slowly deal with them. There are some PD next door, so that's not going to help those Riptides long term. They are tickle cannons nonetheless, so it'll take a little bit longer to deal with them, but for the most part, at least it buys Ecoplayer a little bit more time. Maybe he can get some more TMD online, but maybe he's going to push in. Again, no additional hit points on board Dimitri 11's comm, just the gun upgrade. It's 14,000 to 10,000. Combi-com action now in the middle. We have a couple of shots from Dr. Soviet and Holme. We have almost 15,000 and then 12,000 on board. So it is able to survive, but just barely a comm explosion in close range. But he have to be careful because there's obviously BRS is over here. Same thing goes for BRS because there's 2 players here from each team. Both of them are Cybrins. One has Nano, one does not. BRS has only gun on board and advanced range sniper online for Homie. I can't fix, says Eco player. Eco lags right, and Eco says he can't fix, which means he might have to dip from the game. That'd be unfortunate. Team 2 loses the first play of the game due to a connection error and issues. That's never fun. Chap pushing back, couple of PD now online. Kareem, kind of struggling to deal with the TMD from Team 2. There's more TMD coming online. If he goes for Bowie Nuke, it's going to have a hard time chewing through this position. He'd have to go either east or, maybe try to move over here and shoot this way, but It's just not going to be that helpful. Another missile inbound. It is going to go eastward, and this would be a really nice shot if he's able to hit BRS with it. I don't think... Oh, did he? Because he did move a little bit. He's going to move again. He was standing right. Oh, that would have been pretty darn close, if not actually hit him with that missile. So just a couple last seconds of movement saves a ton of hit points with BRS. But in the east, Dimitri 11 pushes in with some bricks and gets counter-pushed by Eco players, T1 and T2 units. Lots of Riptides, a couple of Parashields, and Dimitri 11 drops into the yellow. He's not dead yet. Eco player now back up into the green. Probably wishing he had some more overcharges at this point. And he's probably going to get some veteran T3 artillery, some trebuchets mixed in for Dimitri 11. Love to see those units deployed. A couple of PDs still alive, more being built all the time. Dimitri 11's being surrounded. He's at 2-star vet. Will he get to 3 stars before he dies? Riptides and everything else just laying into that comms chassis. Comm dropping below 1,000. He's going to be the first player dead for Team 1. There he goes. At 15, almost 16 minutes on the clock, the red player for Team 2 kills the red player for Team 1, dropping this to a 5v4, and he will continue to push. No, maybe not. He's going to fall back. There's still a couple of bricks here, so probably smart that he falls back. And there's going to be a nice win for Team 2. West side, we have Team 2's Chap pushing in a little bit. He has a couple of Trident-class frigates. Is that what I think that is? Are those Salems? Yep, those are. Yes, those are Salems. You know, it's one thing to like have a map where there's a bunch of water and you're trying to traverse land a little bit, where there's like maybe a little narrow neck like this, where let's say this continues the water over here and you have a pond and you have them walk over, go back into the water, and then kind of sail over. No, he's like, I'm just going to build T2 destroyers and use them as walking artillery, which can work. But, man, are they slow. Oh, the missile almost hit. That would have been close. You should have enough damage to one-tap one of those destroyers with a missile. We have some units inbound also from Trotto to assist the western front. He noticed it's falling a little bit. Also, units inbound from BRS to assist. So both of the middle players, at least some of the armies, are being shifted in this direction. And it does open some avenues from either team to push in through the middle as well, but it just depends on what they really decide to do. We do see Nano started for BRS in the middle as well, so he's going to get a little bit more tanky with the Seraphim comm, and we do see the Aeon Sniper Commander of Homie pushing back, or pulling back from Team 1. Looks like he pushed in a little bit, but it is approaching the 20-minute mark, so assassinations are definitely possible. Team 1, again, at 4 players left, but the base that once belonged to Dimitri does go to Dr. Soviet. He is the highest rated player on Team 1, and he's sitting at 500 mass per second. Both teams at about 1,000 mass per second at before 20 minutes. Their ecos are exponentially growing here. The only player not at least above 100 is Homie in the middle for Team 2. Nano Advanced started for BRS. He does have the Region Aura online, so he's just going to keep those units nearby online for a very long time with that Advanced Nano. I would assume he's going to go for Advanced Nano, Advanced or Region as well, if I can talk correctly. Yeah. We do see, again, Loyalist is able to EMP those Salems, and some Percys are inbound, and it's not fun. Kareem and Chap might exchange some blows here. We see some of those nice, very annoying spearheads pushing in. Probably not the best idea. The other Salem is gone. It looks like Team 2 came out on top. They got a lot more of the reclaim, that's for sure. T2 gunships inbound, just going to drive the comm just a little bit further back. They are stingers, so they are going to sting a little bit, but honestly, it's not really worth writing home about. He's lost almost 1,000 hit points now, but you really don't do a lot of damage. He only needs, one mobile flak cannon to call it a day. T3 Air, of course, being expanded upon by Team 1. T3 Air being expanded upon quite nicely for Team 2. Again, the one thing I don't like, big giant box means very easy to cascade. Hopefully he puts a lot of shielding around it, because I feel like at some point it's going to get hit by something or a couple of somethings, and then it's going to go bye-bye. So definitely need some shielding. I know right now it's not a super priority, but it's just don't like a big giant air grid not being shielded. Doesn't matter if it's skinny or not, just the fact that it's a big-ish air grid and it's not shielded. It's just waiting for someone to shoot at it, if I can talk. Monkey inbound from Team 1's Trottil, first experimental done of the game. BRS goes, nope, I'm not going to deal with that. And he does have the advanced ore region online. Again, for me, it's very hard to see because they make it so very difficult to see the difference in the icons. The nano, you have the two semicircles, sorry, two quarter circles, and then you do advanced and you get the other two. The advanced ore region is the same thing, but it's harder to see the middle because it's a smaller symbol. So I just wish they kind of made that just a little bit easier to see, but nonetheless, that is online for him. No other upgrades that I've seen for Kareem, so any funny names I haven't seen yet, so I'll kind of try to keep track of that as well. 20 minutes on the clock. Team 1 1.2, Team 2 1.3, so staying pretty close to one another, nothing too crazy. We do see units from Team 2's homie being told to move that way, and homie goes, fine, you can move them yourself, and he goes, that's fine, and decides to hold them in position for a little bit longer. It looks like he's going to get told, like, hey, you actually have those units. And again, it's a lot easier to micro two armies by one player than two armies and two players. And same thing goes with air, same thing goes with navy. It's just easier to have units in one location be commanded by one person. Northeast, the base still stand online. The one built by Dimitri11, where that's where his comm is smoking right there. If this was Bar, he would actually have, if he wasn't already reclaimed by now, he'd have that wreck in the middle of that explosion. We do see a couple of gunships over here from Team 2 Strider going after a couple of mexes and actually wiped out 5 mexes there. We see some T3AA SAM sites, at least for Team 1, they are SAM sites, dotted around. They are gunships. They are the broadswords. They are the beefiest air-to-ground weapon, at least at the T3 tech, besides, of course, the bomber. And we have more gunships inbound. They are getting into the backland. They're striking the not as focused microed position for Dr. Soviet, just because this is his main base or his original base, and this is his new base that he got, so he's not probably focusing too much. But I do see this, so he is focusing a little bit with that nuke now online. 22 minutes almost on the dot. The gunships have been dealt with, but he has lost some eco. Team 1 still behind in eco. It's 1.5, 1.6 to 1.4. Not a terrible amount to be behind. And the one thing I will note as I'm just scanning the battlefield is 3 comms in one location. Probably not the best idea by any means. I don't even think... Nope, Dr. Soviet isn't hidden, but he does have stealth. Trottil is hidden, and I-Block Mess is not. So 2 of those 3 commanders can easily be spotted by a spy plane. Technically the 3rd, because the spy plane flies over and they can see those sonar signatures. They don't know what it is. They just know there's something there. And was that a bug? Or not a bug. Was that a... Yep, that was one of those fire beetles that just got shot at by a sniper. That's never fun. Can't use the big explosion cloaking thing if it gets shot at from way far away. We have bombers inbound from Team 1. Just a couple of Team 1s. Nothing too crazy, though. They're shooting at the destroyer, of course, because they want to deal with that nonsense. Still more destroyers. I did see a cruiser or 2 built a while ago. I do love that because it provides some passive AA. Might as well. And they have missile redirect systems on board as well, which I, again, don't know why they're not listed in the things that they do. But that is a nice little, not hidden benefit, but it is something that they do. But it isn't written, so technically it's hidden, but technically it's not. Those should be written nonetheless. Team 2 Strider getting on a transport and moving over here. I do love he's on a T3 Continental, though. So he's protected just a little bit more than on a T2 one. And he has Billy Nuke on board, and he launches one immediately upon landing. And I do not think... Oh, it's... Wait, is it going... It's not going for this base. It's going further north for these mexes over here. And they are decently spread out, so we'll see how much damage that one Billy Nuke does. I feel like it's a little... Oh, it's dead anyways. Never mind. You can forget what I just said, because that thing got shot down. So... Yeah, Monkey Lord, I think this is the same one that was built earlier ago. It's still alive. It's trying to use its secondary, more longer range cannons on board to do some damage, but it's kind of not really that effective against shielding, so it's kind of just It's there. It has some AA on board, so passive air scouts being wiped out pretty quickly is nice. We have T3 mobile artillery still bombarding Eco Player. He does have his own TAC missile online, so we have TAC missile, we have Billy Nuke, which is a super TAC missile, and then TAC missile for Kareem. So we have 3 TAC missiles, so every UEF player has at least a TAC missile on board. I feel like that's not necessarily uncommon. Another Billy Nuke lands, boom, wipes out a mech, almost wipes out that other mech. But besides that, we do see BRS that could go for missile, but he has nano and a region ore and stuff like that, so he's more focused on units than he is about missiles, which is fair. You got to vary your strategies per player, of course. Tons more gunships inbound from Team 2's Strider, once again going after whatever they can get a hold of. Frontline position for Kareem is gone. T3 artillery? T2 artillery? T2 artillery. Some Gunthers online. Oh, ASFs. Oh, that's not great for Team 2's gunships. They're trying to wipe out all of those other units on the ground. Looks like they're targeting more of the TMDs and the T3, T2 mexes. Lots of flak being built. We have ASFs not in the best position for Team 1 or Team 2. But looks like some of those ASFs do get away at a bare minimum. There is some AA, and there's a lot of flak running around. Another Billy Nuke inbound. Now, if this one should land, what is that, number 3, 4, 5, something? This base is gone. We see Trottil making a comment and circling, be like, hey, there's a thing here. You should probably put stuff there. Watch out for it. Here comes the Billy Nuke. Does it strike both the mexes? Yes, it does. That's a boom. That's 27 times 2, 54 mass per second wiped off Team 1's plate. It is now a 2K to 1.8. And the nuke, which we haven't taken a look at, is now loaded and is going to fire immediately upon loading it. Definitely the best thing to do. The sooner you fire it, the more likely you are to land, especially if you try to just go straight for it, try to rush for it. And the nuke is going for the air grid. Is there an SMD? Yes, but it's not built yet or even loaded for that matter. And that's going to be a really good nuke for Team 1. That's going to wipe out the air grid, or at least a huge portion of it. As long as it grabs the T3 air headquarters, that's the main thing. Takes out a chunk of it and the headquarters, and if it can grab a mech or two, very, very, very good nuke. We will see what it ends up actually grabbing, though. Fat Boy online for Kareem. He's going for T3. Okay, he had another upgrade. What's it named? Let's see if I can scroll fast enough before the game keeps updating. No, is it just, no, it can't just be FAF cosplay done. But kaboom! T3 headquarters is done. We have 2 mexes dead, and chunk of that air grid is gone. So that is a nice nuke from Team 1's Dr. Soviet. I do not see the upgrade. Did I pass by it and I'm just blind? No, I don't see it. Unless he just named the other one. No, because the FAF, yeah, because he has nano. Yeah, because he did that. Yeah, I don't see it. Weird. It doesn't tell me what it's upgrading. Wait. I'm upgrading. I'm upgraded. Cancel. Just try to do love the naming scheme, of course. Maybe we'll see what it's named after he's done. It usually tells me when it starts and then when it ends, but for some reason I couldn't find the start one, which is very weird. Another Billy Nuke inbound from Team 2's Strider. Strider? Yeah, Strider. Again, he's lost essentially his entire air grid and some mexes. Team 1 and Team 2 now at about even income at 2K. And in the middle, things again still kind of just bogged down, partly due to the environment, because it's a little bit more of a pinching in terms of land, but there's so much land there anyways where you can easily spread out, and you already kind of see that now with all the sniper bots and the parashields and the whatnot kind of spreading out. And there's some asylums in there, but there's some T3 Athanas, again, T3 mobile shielding, or parashields, T3 shielding. GC moving in. Your filter falling in behind it. That's going to kill off that Monkey Lord. This other Monkey Lord that's been alive for a lot longer might engage, but it's not going to do a ton of damage because that GC is protected by a little bit of a shield as well. So that first Monkey Lord is gone. The second one going to be ripped apart just moments after its twin, its brother from another mother. There he goes, dead right next to it. Lots of bricks here, though, so there's still a lot of T3 support. There's a lot of sniper bots mixed in there, though, from Team 2. They have a lot of long-range firepower as well mixed into all the shields and all the optims and the whatnot. We have some Corsairs inbound to thin out the HP a little bit, but again, still in the green. 1-star vet in the green, 1-star vet, so just tons more hit points to have to chew through on the middle there. Fat Boy on the eastern side, pushing in. I think this base will finally die. It's been going for a while, and I think Team 2's eco is just kind of done and tired of it. We do see a... Ooh, we see a nice little monkey load on this western side. Fat Boy shooting at it while it's running away. We have Kareem running away. Cancels the T3 upgrade. Still don't know what it's called. It still hasn't told me, even though he canceled the upgrade. So weird. There goes the Monkey Lord, though, eventually killed off by Janus and Fat Boy fire. Ooh, that's going to be another experimental kill for these grouping of experimentals and units from Team 2's BRS. That's 2 monkeys and a nice little crab there. Strap bombers inbound from Team 1 are going to target the chicken first, the weaker of the 2 experimentals, in terms of hit points, not necessarily in terms of firepower. And a nuke is inbound. It's going to hit right in front of that GC and chicken. Now the question is, do the GC and chicken continue to push in, or do they stand still? What do they do? Because they can easily go after this. They can go after this. There's a Fat Boy over there. The nuke is inbound. Oh, the chicken's falling, turning around. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, the chicken might escape. It gets another vet. No. Kaboom. Wipes out most of those land forces. Wipes out the chicken. Takes a huge chunk of the hit points away from the GC. Strap bombers are going to finish it off before it has a chance to really do much. 22,000 hit points and falling. Fat Boy shooting at it. That thing isn't going to last much longer. There are a couple of sniper bots and lightning tanks still alive from that army, but oof, that's got to hurt. Nice grab by Team 1's Dr. Soviet. Nice point defense nuke. 110,000 mass. I should have looked at how much damage it killed off for that air grid. I would assume 75 to 80 because it was a lot of dead stuff. Fat Boy being sandwiched between a Monkey Lord and a crab. That crab is going to kill that Monkey Lord off. No ifs, ands, or buts. Crab being built. Crab being built. Crab is done. So many crabs for Team 1. Dang. There's a joke in there somewhere. I'm not going to make the joke, but there's a joke in there somewhere. Fat Boy is dead. Got killed off by that crab infestation. Another Monkey Lord online for Team 1's Trotto in it. The Billy Nuke lands just short of a P-Gen. Little shield generator farm thing. There is an SMD there, heavily protected, well, not decently protected with shielding, with upgraded the ED3s, not going for ED4s. No T3 shielding for Team 1, just T2. And strap bombers over the top, wiping out the remaining bricks, or not bricks, sorry, excuse me, Percy's from Eco Player. There's some bricks and some cruisers and no destroyers from Team 1, which is kind of weird, but I do like the fact that there's just a Percy trying to get reclaimed by a Team 1 engineer, because that's going to work. Or maybe he was trying to convert it, who knows, but I highly doubt it was going to work that time. Billy Nuke lands in the middle of 2 T3 mexes, doesn't kill either of them. That's unfortunate, but lovely attempt nonetheless. Laser started for Trottil. Lovely to see that upgrade be started so soon, which means someone's probably going to telemaser. Still, no. It looks like almost the chat just ended, because there's really not a lot of messages, and he's definitely restarted that upgrade once, which means it would have started and then stopped and then started again. And I don't even see the laser comment in the chat, which is very weird. Very, very weird. I don't know if just the chat broke this game or something. I don't know. That's unfortunate, because I want to see the other names. I thought they were funny. I got a good laugh. Ooh, just a little bit too late, but almost grabbed the chunk of the ASS with the Billy Nuke. Lovely attempt, though. I got to give him praise for that. Again, would have killed off not all of them, but maybe a third, maybe at a minimum, with the Billy Nuke. He's like, oh, I should have waited like 15 more seconds. They would have flew almost right over it. Gunship. Ooh. Ooh. Well, they don't like you, Strider, and I think it's because the Billy Nuke on your backpack. We do have some AA nearby and some shielding for Strider to hide under, so I don't think he's going to die pretty quickly here. There are gunships going for that snipe. Lovely attempt, though. We have some T2 flak being built. Actually, Strap Bomber's also inbound. There went all of his flak. Like, nope, you're not getting any of that. Another Megalith coming online. We had two dead, one from each team. And then another Megalith that's probably not going to last much longer. And the wrecks are gone here. There's still the 2 wrecks from Team 2 as well as the new ones that are here. And, oh, does the slow cannon shot hit the Monkey Lord? No, it's not. But, man, that Monkey Lord needs to be Control K'd and then just reclaimed and the whatnot to be funded for a new project. Another nuke is inbound. Oh, that either it goes for this army right here, which it did earlier, or it's going to go for Strider. That's not the... Oh, yeah. That, Strider, you got to move. You got to move. I don't think you're going to move in time. Shields aren't going to help you, unfortunately, but a lovely assist. He knows it, and there he goes. Kaboom! First kill of the game for Team 1 goes to Dr. Soviet with that nice almost headshot, sitting at 165,000 mass with 3 nukes? Yeah, 3 nukes, because this one, and then this one, and then this one. So, again, average of over 50,000. Really, really good average. Chicken moving into the base for Team 1's Kareem. And Fatboy is gone. Kareem's got to keep moving. He has the Billy Nuke and the T3 Engineering Suite on board. I don't know what the names are. That's so unfortunate. Why won't it tell me the name? Why won't it tell me? Oh, sad. But Chicken's got to keep pushing. We have 2 bugs online for Team 1's air player of iBlock Mass. And no, the Chicken's not going to go after the comm. He's going to go after some of the base. Again, definitely don't blame him there. He has to catch up to him, though, because eventually his weapons will be out of range as the comm continues to retreat. It will do some damage with the Ion Storm, nonetheless. E-Storage, that goes down. That's going to hurt. And the base here. Ooh, T3 land headquarters. That would be a nice grab, just to make sure it does get killed off, but more mexes will die. Maybe that T3 land headquarters will be singed, but I don't think it's going to go down. But nonetheless, that is a nice grab from Team 2. Nonetheless, wipes out a ton of the eco for Kareem. Team 2, 3,000 mass per second. Team 1, 2,000 mass. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because why not at this point, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I forgot to mention this earlier in the game, but if you haven't seen yesterday's video, the 3v3 ladder match, the history has been made. For those of you who watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those who don't, something finally happened after almost casting 700 plus games. Something finally happened that I've been waiting to happen, and it has happened. So please check it out. It was a great game nonetheless. So check it out. Great game. There was some boats. There was also not some boats. So a little bit of mixture for everybody who enjoys this game. We do see satellite. Why is the satellite surrounded by PGens? Why there's no adjacency? Why? No PGens next to satellites. Bad. Don't like it. It's like an artillery piece, but it doesn't gain the adjacency bonuses because they don't exist. But we do. Yeah, well, my voice did something weird there. T3 stationary artillery is online for Chap, and now with the death of Strider, the base goes to BRS, so he's sitting at 1.3k mass just by himself, producing a ton of mass. Another nuke inbound from Team 1. Where is it going? There's SMD. We'll shoot down that nuke. It might drop south. We do see another blue nuke from Team 1. Gunships, both T3 and T4 are inbound. And I do not think that artillery piece will last much longer for Team 2. Looks like the nuke's going to land right there. Kaboom! Wipes out a chunk of the forces, but nothing too devastating. There goes the artillery piece. That's gone. That's got to hurt. Team 2 does have that satellite still going after that Mega with the 123,000 mass with it. So it has a lot of hit points to chew through. But look at just the open environment Team 1 has to work with. We have 1 T3 gunship remaining, and the Solar Ripper gains a little bit more hit points. I don't think it would have needed them to survive that first inbound aggression from those ASFs, but it's almost dead. We do see another satellite online for Team 2. It's under the control of BRS. Maybe it was started by Strider, maybe not. There is some lines of T3AA being built to, again, deal with the bugs. Again, the weaker one, actually might survive long enough. It gets another vet, and the AA is targeted. Love to see that, because you're shooting at the things that are shooting at you, and then you shoot at everything else. But you might as well go after the stuff that does a lot of AoE explosions as well. You can actually probably divvy up and go after other targets simultaneously. I hear an explosion in the middle. It's another Billy Nuke. And air grid is being somewhat reclaimed, somewhat not reclaimed. The satellite, yep, that's not going to survive much longer. And oh no, there goes the P-gen, and they wipe out the shield generator, and then there goes the satellite. There goes the bug, lands on top of the shield generator just for good measure. And I think that's going to be the end of the bug for the most part. The ASF are starting to thin out from Team 1 anyways. And looks like all of... Why are you not targeting the same P-gen? You could be targeting this one. You do AoE explosions. But anyway, there goes the bug. Wipes out one more P-gen. Actually kills off some ASFs. And it does wipe out the remaining ASFs as well. And another explosion to the west. It is a... Looks like a regular nuke, but the nuke's in the air, so it has to be Billy Nuke. Oh, well, that's one way to have a nice little hello. You start with a Billy Nuke, and then you end with a nuke, but it's going further south, going to the crab-producing facilities that were going to be crab-producing facilities. But kaboom! Wipes out an SMD. It's always a nice grab. That way the nuke isn't denied. Nuke has killed off 236,000 mass. I believe that's number 5, so a little under 50k, but still doing very good job for averages. We have Strider constantly highlighting this little Omni, which it does get grabbed by his teammate of Eco Player, so that Omni sensor is gone. There's still another one there, and I think there's one more in the back line, maybe? No, just that one? Okay, well, that would also be a nice grab. Looks like Team 2's Chap hands everything over to BRS. Are you going to control K? Because you handed everything on, maybe he had to go. Again, there's no chat, so I have no idea if they're on comms or not. I think maybe, possibly maybe. But he's gifted everything over except one engineer for whatever reason. T3 artillery online for Team 1. First one is done. Of course, second one is about 25%, a little bit more than that. Team 2 looks like they're starting to run out of steam a little bit. We do see there is a donut online. There is the explosion in the bay. He does control K. Usually when you hand stuff over before you die, it's usually a control K for whatever reason. But we see Kareem. Again, one thing I will note, please get on a Continental, not a Starlifter. You have a lot more hit points to play with just in case you get shot at. So just food for thought. But he will probably get to that pond there. Maybe he'll try to go for this pond. Yeah, of course, would be very bold to go in this one. But I don't think he's going to get there, especially with this AA nearby that pond down there as well. So probably best to just kind of stick it at the edge of the map, if not just right on the shoreline, right down there. Cloaking started for Trottil, so he's not going for Teleporter, but bug on bug on bug on bug for Team 1's air player, because why not? I mean, he did very well with those two that went along the edge of the map, to be fair, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 megawatts with a microwatts backing them up in the middle. Team 2 has one donut. Not a lot of... Oh, sorry. They have one donut and a dead chicken. 2 dead chickens, excuse me. So not great for Team 2 on defensive measures. We have 2 artillery pieces. Nope, still just the 1. And 2 satellites online for Eco Player as we speak. So he has a little bit of longer range fire. Not as much damage, though. Billy Nuke lands, takes out a chunk of the mexes there, wipes out 3. That's 81 mass a second. It's still a chunk. Team 2 still in the lead eco-wise, but not as much as they were. They've lost mexes here. They've lost, of course, the air grid there. They've lost mexes here and here and here and everywhere. And up in the north, they've lost a couple of mexes as well. They're really just suffering a lot of death by 1,000 cuts kind of scenario. Lots of flak, some ASFs inbound. The shield is still holding for now, but it's about to drop. It is down. ASFs are not going to... Oh, never mind. I just jinxed myself. There we go. Caster cursing it. Apologies there for Homie, who built it. It is going to land on the upper plateau there and land on a T3 Max. That's got to hurt. That's 27 mass a second that BRS is not getting. Another Billy Nuke lands, takes out a Pigeon and a couple more mexes. And he's on the land, and Team 2 has definitely spotted him. Kareem at 76,000 mass with his comm. Of course, mostly driven by the Billy Nuke, but hey, he's doing a very good job with it nonetheless. Another Billy Nuke inbound. He's not stopping to launch those things, but he's just doing as much damage as he can, as fast as he can. This is going to be a great one. It's going to kill off a ton of mass fabs at a bare minimum. Look at that. 3 mechs is dead, plus a lot of damage on that one. Of course, the mass fabs did that, so that's 8, 16, 24, 32, plus an additional 81. That's over 100 mass dead per second for BRS. Tons of damage from that come 102,000 mass and climbing with that thing. We have those are fire beetles. Why are you building fire beetles? I don't know why. I love to see them, but I don't know why he's building them. Line of Megawiths is getting closer and closer and closer and closer to Team 2 stuff. Ooh, a couple of those P-Gen mass fab farms or whatever those were, E-storages. Those are not going to live much longer. Shielding is going to hold against the first Billy Nuke. It probably won't hold against the second one, though. Artillery piece being built by EcoPlayer. 43 minutes on the clock. Game is not looking good. Why did my game just completely zoom out? I did not mean to do that. I meant to sit like this. Weird. We have gunships inbound on the eastern side. Once again, they're going the northeast side versus the southwest side. And yeah, they're not going to stop all of them. More AA satellite has been restarted, but that's not going to finish in time. Billy Nuke, I think, is inbound a second time, but crabs are inbound here shortly. 44 minutes almost on the clock, and that might just be game from Team 1. They held off long enough, wiped a ton of the eco out from Team 2. The air grid got demolished multiple times, and it just, they could not keep anything going in the air long term, and that kind of freed up a little bit of the land. Oh my goodness, the fire beetles. Why? Look at them all. Look at all those fire beetles. 226 of them. Dang. That's a lot. Lots of Ravagers built. We have a Donut going after a Megalith. SMD is down. And Kareem down here, 5-star vet going after T3 mexes on Team 2 side of the map. Don't stand next to the P-Gen while you shoot at it. It's not a good idea. Just don't stand next to it. Bad. Don't do that. 108,000 mass kill with his Billy Nuke comm. 2 artillery pieces. Nuke killed off 236,000. It's going to launch another payload. It's going to get one last lick in. The Team 2's BRS control Ks, I would presume, given the fact that I didn't even have a message that popped up on my screen, so we'll just say Control K. And Donut is killed. Now we have EcoPlayer, Homie, and BRS. Yeah, definitely Control K. We have gunship strap bombers inbound. The rest of Team 2 recalls right as the satellite was about to go down. There goes a explosion there. I think it was a Billy Nuke, because the nuke from Team 1 is inbound. No, that may be that. No, it's right here. There it is. Yep. And Kareem, look at how far forward he got. He got all the way here. Pretty close to that southeastern corner, but did a very good job, Team 1. One player died, Dimitri 11, earlier on, and then 2 kills, technically 2 kills, actually 1 kill, I can talk, 1 kill and 2 control Ks, and the departure from the rest of them. Team 1 wins the game, 55 minutes, and almost even on the clock with 5 seconds after that. MVP for me, I mean, it did really help that Dr. Soviet got a second base, which means he could pump a lot of eco into other things. The nuke did a very good job. 236,000 mass killed, wiped out an air grid, wiped out a earlier land army with a couple experimentals. That definitely staved off a lot of damage long term. And look at all the Billy Nukes. Look at them all. There's so many of them from obviously both teams. And yeah, a couple more down here as well, especially from Kareem. Nice grab though from Team 1. I think that Billy Nuke did such a good job of just being annoying, and the nuke as well. The artillery did do some work, but I think it's a combination of the nuke, the Billy Nuke comm of Kareem, and then the gunships coming in and wiping out the air grid a second time and wiping out a chunk of a chunk of eco with it as well. So I think So I blocked Mass, Dr. Soviet, and Kareem were definitely highlights. And then Trotel just built a bunch of fire beetles, so you got to love that. And most of the experimentals on the front line as well. He really kind of kept that front line going. Everybody did play a major role in the game. I kind of want to side to Kareem just a little bit. Not Kareem, but I blocked Mass a little bit. But also the nuke was devastating for Team 2. And look, the Scathus was almost done. Apparently they were building a Scathus right next to the nuke because why not? But anyways, let me know down in the comments who you think deserves MVP in your opinion. Thank you so much for watching the very end of the video. Again, if you have a replay that you want to maybe get casted on the channel, please send it to me at strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. Again, I really, really, really do appreciate every and all and each of the submissions if I can English correctly. So again, thank you so much for watching to the very end as always, and I will see all of you in the next one.